Let me back you up a little bit further. There you go. That looks a little bit better. Good morning, everybody. This is Panda, coming to you live from Central Park, New York City. And I want to just to tell you why Neewer doesn't know what they are talking about the Q3 system. Now, they're making a statement saying that there's only a few units that are a bad batch, and they hadn't gotten no emails or no customer support feedback stating that there has been problems with the Q3, and that's not true, because if that was true, look at the comments on all of my videos. So I really beg to differ about their statement. But let me show you one of the problems why there needs to be a firmware update, because this has to do with TTL and high-speed sync not working correctly. And mind you, the one on the right is the new one. The one on the left is my second one I purchased with my own money. They all purchased with my own money. This is the replacement, mind you. Keep in mind, what I'm going to show you is TTL versus high-speed sync, but I'm going to show you why one of the flashes don't respond in TTL correctly than another. So pay attention to the right and the left. Before we start, please do subscribe, like, and share it. You guys want to support the channel, the links are down in the description below. Now, both units are on. They are all in both high-speed sync. Oops, oh, let me turn this one on, sorry. Now they both flash, right? They both go off in high-speed sync. But when I change the mode into TTL, pay attention to the one on the left. You see that? The one on the left is not flashing brighter than the one on the right. So, okay, maybe it's compensating, right? I thought that, and I said, no, it can't compensate. It's not that intelligent. You see it? It barely busts off a light. It's weak. And I say this for a reason why firmware update is needed. Neewer, as a professional photographer or travel photographer, and a person that's been traveling since the pandemic, using your system for about a year, 15, 16 months now, and I was using GoDocs, take this with a grain of salt. Alright? Firmware on electronic products like this, like a Strobe or Speedlight, is a must. You cannot distribute, you cannot sell something on the market. This is why, and I'm going to hit you when it hurts the most. This is why B&H and Alarama would never sell your products in your store, in their store, I'm sorry, because you don't have a warranty or software manufacturing warranty to fix the problems that you just saw here. Now the one on the left barely busts off a flash. Now, you guys are saying, okay, Panda, turn back on the right one, okay? I'm going to turn the left one off. You see how that bright, very bright. Turn it back on. It barely busts off in TTL. And that's not the bug. That's software problems with the trigger and its response. I don't know what it is. I tried the hertz. Mind you guys, I reset the settings on the Q3. If you haven't seen my video on my tutorial about this particular system back in 2020, I did the breakdown on how to fix some of the issues temporarily if you're using Canon. Sony, you may have to just send your units back. It's a hit and miss. But yeah, the left one doesn't bust off in TTL. And I noticed that yesterday as doing a photo shoot, and I was so disappointed because I wanted to fill the subjects as a backlight, you know, for the catch lights, for the hair, or for the head or the body. It didn't come out the way that I wanted to, so I'd had to do some creativity in Photoshop. But the point is, Neewer, you say to me, and you say to the people that buy your products that there's no issues with your units, but there is. You need firmware updates. You have to firmware update. That's a firmware issue, mind you. Yes, that is. Because Godox, mind you guys, remember back in the couple years ago, me and Godox had some issues about the TT600S with the shoe mount, and then the flash sometimes would just, and they fixed that with firmware update. So I beg to differ, Neewer. You have issues with the Q3, you just in denial about it. And as a photographer that shoots with strobes or speedlights, I'm sorry. Like I said, we are in New York City. We're not in Boston, we're not in Madison, we're not in San Francisco is much louder. Or equal. Sorry about that. So I figure I'd go live. I don't really want to record it and upload it, and you know, I just figure I'd go live and then you guys can watch this, and I show you in person in New York City as of September 11th. Today's a special date, everybody. Remember that. Yeah, the Q3 system. It works, but it is not as good as Godox. It is not as good as ProPhoto or BPhoto. It is not as good. I'm sorry, Neewer, like I said. Your system works when it wants to work, but you know, it's a hit and miss. So, guys, I will continue to use these, but I am going back to Godox. I am literally making an investment for Godox products once again. So just to clarify that, I am making a new investment for Godox Strobe units because I cannot rely on Neewer's Q3 system, because honestly, for Neewer to come out their face and ask me by email, if you didn't see that email, they asked me to delete content off the platform so you guys cannot see the truth, the ongoing issues. Because, guys, let's put it in this way. When they sent me a new unit, they knew there was problems. And then asking me 3 days later, after I respond to the email, to actually delete the video, you cannot ask me to delete. I'm sorry, but that's a really disrespectful way to violate the Constitution right there, especially the First Amendment to freedom of press. I'm sorry, but that's just disgusting, Neewer, to ask anyone to delete or remove content based on facts that you submitted yourself by sending me a unit replacement without even sending back the old replacement, because you know the system was flawed, and you gave me a prototype. So with that said, everyone, this has been a Neewer update showing you the issues why the firmware is needed on the Q3. Now, as I said before, Neewer has to talk to this manufacturing processing in China. So I think that's how that process is, because Godox does the same way. But Godox has a better contract with their manufacturer, and they do their own software to their strobes. Neewer doesn't have that flexibility or that power. I don't think Neewer has the staff potential to actually hire people in that category, engineers, to actually help with some of the problems with the Q3. And as you can see in TTL, it doesn't work properly. With that said, firmware update is needed. I'm going to digress on this topic for the time being, because we talked about Q3 and Neewer a lot on my channel, And I'm trying to help Neewer understand how to conduct a better business practice and a better business or better feedback when it comes down to customer service. I just think they don't listen. They don't want to admit. And they actually, the emails said it all. Delete your content. Thank you for letting us know that you received the unit. Is it any chance that you can delete the content so we can? No. Don't ever ask. If any company or brand asks you to delete content based on factual facts, then you know you have something powerful in your hands. Don't ever delete it. With that said, everyone, I'm the Panda Photographer. I'm a travel documentarian, photographer, and travel consultant. This is what I do. If you can't take criticism, get out the kitchen, go in the pool, cool off. But with that said, everyone, you guys want to support the channel? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the thumbs button. We just figured out the Q3 system. It works perfectly in high-speed sync. Once again, I'm going to turn it on. And you can see in TTL, the one on the right flashes so much brighter. The one on the left just doesn't really bust off anything. But if we go into high-speed sync, we were just in TTL, they both bust off equally amount. This is why I'm showing you guys in real world that in high-speed sync, it does work. But in TTL, no. Firmware update. With that said, everyone, eat, sleep, photography, eat, sleep, videography. I forgot my own slogan. Oh, my panda. It's eat, sleep, photography, videography, and repeat. I should say eat, sleep, review, report, and photography. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Happy shooting.